Hello everybody, welcome to Herlefeld, created by SourceWorks and Desperados93. Alas, it is raining, but one thing nice about Farm Sim 11 is even with the rain, there are certain tasks that it allows us to continue doing. One of those, which apparently is windrowing grass. I can't imagine trying to do this in real life rain, but hey, it's letting us do it, so we're gonna take advantage of it and try to get a little more done. I've talked about the windrowing in here. I don't know how others do it. I'd be interested in hearing how others windrow within the confines of Farm Sim 11, knowing that there were game limitations on how much material it would stack in a particular windrow. And here's kind of how I've landed on doing it. Although, I've noticed this particular field and some of them, there's different ways to do it. I know some of them I've gone counterclockwise. This one here I'm going clockwise. I guess initially I resisted going clockwise because you'll notice the windrow is on the outside, and one of the things I like to avoid is tangling with fences or other hard objects. But I think in this case here, all those trees that are around us here, I can drive through if need be. I don't have a fence to contend with on this particular field. Maybe still could do it with a fence. I don't know. Maybe when I get to a field that has a fence, I'll have to reevaluate. I mean, this is kind of what I've been doing, and it'll make a decent windrow. And actually, you know what? I'm in 1. I probably could speed it up to 2. And yeah, it's let me go a little bit quicker here. Although I know when I'm doing a short passage, and I always turn the rotor off right at the end. I don't know. If I don't, what ends up happening is you end up just making a mess, and I'm trying to accumulate it here. So I don't know. I turn the whirligig off when I come to the end of the row. Previously I would go create, well, no, I wouldn't create. I'd go down both sides of the windrow, kind of shooshing it to the middle, and I'm just not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that isn't putting any additional material in there. It is cleaning up the material, but it isn't adding anything to the windrow substantively, that you'll be able to pick up. So, but I don't know. I have a feeling, and I'm pretty close to that point now. I got, it doesn't look like I have much money, but once I hit midnight, I have a feeling I'm going to be making a mint. My 8 cows, my goodness, the milk's coming out of them just like there's no end of supply. Let me see here. Let me turn on my thing again. Oops, I can't really see what I'm doing here. Oops, now let me hit a 9. 417,000 liters. I don't know how much. That's going to be a boatload of money. So, yeah, as soon as I kind of think it's when you hit midnight that you get a collect. So, I'm anticipating a pretty decent payoff. Even at it won't be $1. I don't remember what the price is per liter of milk. I'd probably have to look it up. It's probably something hard-coded in the Lua, and I just don't remember what it is. Then when I get down to short little things, I'll cut it off, kind of like so I don't have to endlessly turn. I know we did this on the farm too. This is in grass fields many moons ago. When we get down to the end, we wouldn't try to do a bunch of short little windrows. Anywho, this one's coming down nicely, and once again, I mean, you would never ever do this in real life. At least I don't think so. Not in the rain like this. Maybe I'll windrow this too. One more little bit just to try to consolidate it a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, see, it's staying a different color because it just doesn't have as much material. Alright, got her done, so let's head to the next field. Head out the corners like I was taught on the farm. Let's see here. Yeah, this was the next one, so I'll show kind of what the dilemma is. See the fence, and you see kind of how, well, you can't really tell. It isn't mowing everything off. I need to fix that in the Lua code so that it'll cut all this other foliage. But the trouble with cutting that other foliage is it isn't going to grow back. So I do kind of like to have it there, so maybe just grit my teeth. But I have a choice now where, you know, at this field up here, if I go clockwise and come around, it'll be putting a windrow right against this fence over here. And I'm not sure that's what I want to do because my finger may slip. And, you know, I may end up putting it into the fence and then find it not recoverable. So many of the ones that I've done, I'll start by going counterclockwise, and I think that's what I'm going to do with this one here. Just want to play it safe and make sure I get all of the material because I hate leaving bits left over. Incidentally, I made a mod. Was this for FarmSim 15? I don't think I ever released it. But when there is rain, it will deteriorate these swaths. And I based it on what the Seasons mod did for FarmSim 17. You may recall. Oh, that's too fast. Take it easy going around because I'm probably going to bump the... Yeah, there I left a little bit. But I believe a component of the Seasons mod was that when it rains or there's inclement weather, or maybe even just over time itself, the cut grass will deteriorate in the field, just like it would in real life. You know, the base game really makes it pretty easy. Nothing ever happens bad for the most part. Oh, see, this is the problem with cutting too close to the fence. I think I need to back up. Let me take another crack at this. Let me try this now. Get closer. I can't really see through the tall blinding it. If there's a post reaching out and grabbing me. Is that out? It's not out of alignment. It's my problem. Let me see. Can I move this beast? There. That worked a little bit. That'll be enough to get me out of the fence. See, this one here, this over here, I shouldn't have cut so close to the fence line. But I guess what I was starting to say is I made a mod for FarmSim 15 where rain would eventually deteriorate swaths. So in this case here, it sure be nice, you know, if you end up leaving some kind of in a fence line, well, Mama Nature will eventually take care of it for you. and get rid of the ice. Or shoot, there's some left on that corner. I did a better job here kind of along this particular run. Oh well, we do the best we can here, and that's all we can do. But some of the more open fields, you know, I would go clockwise, and I think it's a little better in terms of windrow quality that you can get out of it. Maybe this one here, for the outer row, what I'll do is I'll turn around and do another line to, alright, turn this around, and that way I'll just continue going. That's probably what I should do. The outer round should be counterclockwise, and then, yeah, see, this is gonna, there'll be some areas, you know, where I'll keep material. It'll turn it all green along here, or lighter green, or whatever, like it's doing, because it's just adding material. But I don't think it stacks up anymore. But the point is this will, by doing this, it'll help keep it off of the fence line. That's going to be a little broad corner. Yeah. Everybody watching these knows I'm not a very good driver. But then I think at this point I'll continue going clockwise. I don't want to kick it too far over. Yeah, see, that's the other thing that happens. You know, I gotta say, having done this in real life, I think it's easier in real life to make a windrow and keep it out of the doggone fence. But anyway, who am I to just grouse at a game? I'm having fun at it after all. So we come down along here. Oh, I left another little piece at the fence over there. Although I do recall I can drive, you know, in between the fence posts. Although I don't know that I could drag this whole windrower through the fence posts with me. But anyway, so I'll probably keep it going like so. And because this is Farm Sim 11, I don't have to worry about any of my material disappearing. But if it was Farm Sim 17, 15, or whatever, and I had that mod in here that would take it away, I definitely would want to come over here to my other tractor. Let me see here. Number 5, is it? Yeah, this one. And this is kind of where I left off in the last video anyhow. Now, am I on? There we go. I had to make sure I was selected. Actually, is that an icon up here? Oh, there it does. Alright, let me get this going. I think I can take this wider windrow here. 30%. Man, that's grabbing all of it. That's pretty cool. So I think let's see, I got that here. I gotta pay attention. I'm gonna hit the fence. Alright, so in the feeding trough for grass, I have 102,000 liters. Wait, what? Oh, blimey. How did I miss that? These fence posts are going to be the death of me. There, I just didn't have, I turned it off somehow. Anyway, as I was observing, 101,000, 102,000, whatever it is, for in the feeding troughs. I was going to take the rest of this and put it, I think, in the silage clamp. Although, you know, it's interesting, here in the menu it's calling it corn silage, but I believe, or we'll find out, I believe you can put grass in there too. But maybe not. We'll find out. For some reason, I know in later versions you can. I know over in the BGA you can. And I know in real life, of course, you're able to make silage out of grass, or frankly, I think probably any organic material like that. But I don't know if they let you in the game or not. So we shall see. I imagine if we were doing this in real life, trying to pick this up, well, I guess I really don't know. Making silage isn't something I've ever personally done in real life. I don't know if that's something you can do in the rain or not. Seems like I have seen lots of pictures of the silage harvester out in not very good weather, so maybe you can. If someone knows, feel free to leave something in the comment. You know, I don't think even this field is going to be enough to fill this. I mean, this is just a large wagon. And probably, let me go back here again. This isn't, yeah, I don't know if I'll fill up another wagon. If we assume for the moment, you know, that this clamp is going to accept grass, this will get it close to the other one, but it still won't be totally. I don't know if I'll make another trailer of it, because I know I mentioned in a previous video there's something else I wanted to try. I have a round baler, and I think I want to bring it out here. Oh, except for one thing. I guess, well, we'll see. I don't know if it'll allow me to make grass bales of straight grass. You know, it may be that I have to tend it first. That'll be kind of annoying if I gotta do that. But that may be what I have to do in order to literally bale it in here. But it'll be some round bales, and then I've downloaded a couple mods for wrapping bales, and it has to be mods in this version of the game. We didn't get bale wrapping, oh goodness, was it Farm Sim 15 before they allowed us to do it? I just can't remember. I never did play as much Farm Sim 13 to know if the base game included bale wrappers. I don't know, maybe it did. I guess my tedder is sitting right over to the west of where I'm driving here. Yeah, this isn't going to be quite enough to fill this up. But we'll get the field cleaned. And, you know, as soon as I fill the trailer, you know, hopefully it doesn't take the whole episode here. But I'd like to, I also downloaded another mod. I tried to, see, I'm not very good with the plow. You know, at one point, when we've asked for the time overnight, I was showing a little bit this other mod that I've been working on. It's a script to show or to simulate the periodic need for plowing. And we wouldn't get that until Farm Sim 17, I believe. Prior to that, you could plow if you wanted to, or if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. You could just come along with a cultivator. But finally in Farm Sim 17, there was an in-game requirement. I think every third crop you had to plow to rip up the soil, if you will, break it up again, or else you would have a 10% yield penalty. Well, in order to do that, I think they had another layer in the map. I mean, it was built into the map itself to have that functionality, and of course, back in this era of the game, I suppose you could add another layer, but there would be a lot of extra coding, to get all that in there, and I'm not smart enough to do that. And sometimes I think that there are easier ways to get at the... Oh shoot, I missed that little bit, going too fast. Sometimes I think there are easier ways to get to the end result. It's just it's a little ugly doing it the way I have it done in here, but it'll get the job done. Which it is to slowly bring in spots in a field that you have to take out with the plow, because the standard cultivator isn't going to do it. Unless, of course, you have a mod, kind of like I do, for detecting fields. Even with a cultivator, you can set up new fields if you wanted to. Oh shucks, not going to have enough, so... Oh well. We'll go find that next field. Off cam, I've kind of done more cutting and windrowing anyhow. So we got another one down here. And in these particular fields, the grass still hasn't regrown. I don't know if it will. I keep waiting for it. Maybe it's trying. Shoot, what do I know? It just seems like it's looked the way it has for the whole game. More fence posts to navigate, probably assuming that many of these, were pastures. What I don't understand, though, is, the choice the mod map maker made here, where they terminate the posts right here. What's the point of leaving it open? I mean, I just don't quite follow, but I don't know, maybe in Germany that there's a reason for having part of it posted and part of it not. I allow there may be a reason, I just don't know what it would be. Alright, now here's an example of, I did this field counterclockwise, and see how it kind of keeps me out of the fence. So, we'll see. I also didn't cut over very far. But anyway, I do hope the grass will regrow in here, but I'm kind of losing hope that it will, because the three fields north and east of where I'm cutting, or where I was, they kind of look the same the whole time, so I really don't know if they will replenish or not. So I know one thing I want to try, because I honestly don't remember, which is when you plant grass in game, does it put this green down along with it, or does it look like dirt, and grass grows out of it yet? Of course, it's more kind of an ambiance thing, and it has to do kind of with how the game projects distance, textures, and colors. So I wouldn't mind it if it's straight in the dirt. I mean, goodness knows that that's just like how real life would be. But unlike real life, when you look out across the field, you kind of want to see the green, if you will. Yeah, see here, I don't know, I'm just going to have to give this a try. Which style of windrow is easier to pick up? Because it's about equal difficulty on each one, but as I see these square corners here, oh, hey, I'm full, folks. Alright. Well, out we go as soon as I can. I don't think that's about up. Is there fences over... No, I don't think there is. I'm just going to go across over here. I think it's open. Because I do know there is a road right here. Alright, we're headed to the farm. I should put my... Oh! Except I forgot about three miserable posts right here. So I ask again, what's the point of the posts on not the whole length of the field? Shoot. Well, we'll just blame that on the hired help for being a ditz and not seeing the fence. Alright, coming out onto the road. And I'm going to go up the side over here. There's a walker. Stay out of my way, please. Another walker. Because I want to avoid the problems I've had, you know, with a particular spot over on the far side of the barn. That manure bits, I don't know what I'm going to do with that field, because I don't think that stuff is going to just disappear on its own. Kind of makes an eyesore. But honestly, if it rotted in the field, that's exactly what would be left there. Alright, so I take that back. I'll just call that, henceforth, that is, you know, rain damage on leftover windrows. Oh, and I see here I have a full trailer now of manure. Do I have... Is there any... Manure. 3,800. That must be all the liters that aren't in the trailer. So, alright. Oops, I don't want to turn that off for. Turn that off. And I'm going to sneak in over here, and I'm going to see if it'll let me dump this puppy. Please. Nope. All it lets me do is detach. Okay, well, scratch that idea. Oh, alright, so we can take it to the BGA down there. It'll take it. But for some reason, it doesn't accept it at the farm. I guess, you know, when it says corn silage, it means corn silage. So, alright, we got the only place we can dispose of it then is, well, either the BGA or I'm gonna just feed the cows. They are gonna, actually, I don't even know, does this version, does it limit? I know in later versions it would only let you fill, oop, gotta find the trigger. There we go. Maybe it was later versions where they would only let you fill to a certain point, which is probably a good thing. I mean, with limited capacities and all that. Whoop, I can't see. Oh, blimey. That's gonna try to get me out of... Alright, I'm going to take this back to the field. Yeah, and again, I am avoiding this bit over here. I'm not going to drive all the way through because I don't want to get stuck again. So, needle my way down through here. Sorry, hopefully I don't make anybody seasick with this footage. Try not to run over the ped. And out on the road we go. I'm going to take it back to the field. And then, like I say, I want to switch gears just a little. And yeah, I think I started relating that I was looking for mods. Oh yeah, I was talking about plows. Sorry, I get so scattered in here. I forget what I'm talking about. But I got started talking about plowing, and I use the keyboard for what I do in here, and it's hard dealing with a plow. Plus, you're at an angle, so I don't know, just always a little bit difficult. So I prefer getting I guess on the farm we would call it a ripper, a chisel plow, Graham plow, I think we've sometimes called them, where it has tines, thick, heavy tines. Sometimes maybe it's called a subsoiler, those kind of terms. I think I have it here somewhere. Please, yes. Oh yeah, here's one of my wrappers. I'm looking forward to trying that. Aha, here it is. Oh, this is a disc plow too. Grappa, I don't know, yeah. This I recognize, disc. Anyway, what a bargain. $700. So I think it's okay. There's some other mod that it's probably one of the bale wrappers that is causing all those errors up there. Anywho, I'm going to take this over to the store and go. Let me just cut off the middleman head. I like driving across windrows and smashing them down, but I will get out on the road here, even though we don't have a road out. We're gonna zip over to the dealership. And one little problem that I had over here when I tried it a little bit earlier is hey now, where's, oh, it put it over here. Very, very interesting. Yes, here's the problem. I have learned I gotta have it a certain direction in the editor, otherwise it puts the hitch, kind of into the building. So I gotta do a little monkeying around here in order to get it to the correct orientation. And in the old days, in the editor, this is 3 components, 3 separate parts. It's easy enough to turn a part in the editor, but the hard part is the other 2 components that need to be perfectly lined up, where they need to be on the main. Here, maybe that's close enough. Maybe that's close enough. Give me the trigger, please. There we go. All right. And I also, oh shoot, is it? Oh, come on, don't be. Oops, no, I don't want to do that. Alright, a problem I'm having. See, it's dragging the backside. So, you know what? I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to detach it because I am. Actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I'm getting rid of those pesky rocks. I'll leave it there for the moment. Suffice it to say, I wanted a plow that would be more square shaped because it's a little easier for me to navigate the field versus the regular moldboard plow. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, let me drop off any bottles. There we go. Well, thank you so much for coming and watching Herlefeld one more time. Sorry it's raining. But I got to get the weight sorted on this little disc. It was just too light before it was swinging around, so I'm trying to add a little bit of weight to the model, but it appears it's still dragging a little, so I will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Goodbye.